about reasons why I can't stand most bitch ass people. A lot of bitch ass people have a lot of stuck up attitudes. It seems like what I've noticed about myself is that I'm actually a pretty positive, cool person. I consider myself as very like sensitive as well. I'm very like sensitive to energy and people's emotions because of my upbringing, but it's because of how God made me in a way. I'm a naturally positive person. I naturally have a bright aura. But it's just like I notice like the older I'm getting, the more I'm around this world, is like a lot of people, they have a lot of fucking attitude problems. And it all correlates because if you look at these people's lives, and if you see their fucking attitudes, like it lines up. Usually people who have the shittiest attitudes, they always work at these bum ass jobs. A lot of people who are miserable, a lot of people who work at the shitty ass bum ass fucking jobs, they tend to start the most problems with fucking people. This is why there's a saying, misery loves company. A lot of people are very narcissistic, and a lot of people are very fucking bitchy, pretty much, because they don't believe in themselves. They tend to settle on life, or like growing up, like people never really put them in their place, especially women. So when they grow up, they think it's cool to have a certain attitude or to act a certain way towards fucking people and all that. Me, I've bought my tongue a lot when it comes to people like that, but I'm getting to the point where like I'm starting to not bite my tongue no more. I'm starting really to like give people the same energy they're giving me. I understand sometimes people are looking a reaction out of you, but with me, I'm different because with me is like I'll actually make someone feel extremely like fearful if I give them the same energy they're giving me, but I'll win. So there's levels to this. But usually when I'm retaliating back, that's kind of like divine righteous justice in a way, righteous anger in a way. So this is why I know when I do retire back, it hits people the most. And I know how to attack people because if you're like intuitive or very sensitive to energy, you know how to hit people where it hurts pretty much. So but I'm getting to the point where like I'm just fed up with like a lot of disrespectful ass people. A lot of people are shitty, and that's the thing about this world, that a lot of people, they're miserable. A lot of people ain't shit in this world. This is why there's few people who are successful and most people who aren't. Don't get me wrong, there are still successful people who are bitch ass people, because some people who are successful, they have to manipulate and lie and fuck people over and to like do a lot of dishonorable shit just for them to get ahead, such as stealing, crime, and lying to people, etc. But like I'm talking about, for the most part, most people who are like who have the most shittiest attitudes, they're the ones that are down bad the most. They're not doing well in life. It may seem like it may look like it from the surface, but deep down they're not. They're not. So, and I've learned this from being subjected to a lot of narcissistic family members, and just it's a generational cycle of abuse and trauma. So, and the society, it perpetuates that, because unfortunately God and the universe, they allow a realm or a society to where like it lets very evil, sick ass people to rule over this world, and that what perpetuates, creates a lot of narcissistic, miserable ass people. That's why there's so much of them in this world, because they kind of give up on life because they feel like they can't find a way to live an abundant life, because in this life is like you're forced to kind of settle. I'm not settling, but most people are, and that what makes them miserable. And then they feel like it's cool to project their bullshit behaviors onto other people. Is how it is. So yeah. So now now the reason why I hate most women, or I can't be around most women, or I can't stand most women. A lot of women, at least the ones I've been around with, or I've interacted, or I've observed, a lot of women, they have a lot of problems. Like a lot of women, they're very emotionally unhinged, and they're very like narcissistic, and they're very like, even if I get along with them, I just sense there's something dark about them. I feel like it is the society, but because like they have so much trauma, they like to blame and project their bullshit onto people. It does like what Chauncey once said. Shout out to him. And it's like even I try to date women or I try to interact with them, it'll be good for short term, but in the long term, it's like I'll observe them, how their attitude is, their entitlement, and just I just can't be around that. Most women, they're very stuck up and bitchy, and it's just like me as a guy, like I have so much going on for myself. I feel like I'm meant for great things, and I am doing great things. So it's like it's hard for me to settle for the average woman, because the average woman, they have a bitch ass attitude, or like they have a negative viewpoint of life, or there's just something negative about them, or like they don't believe in themselves in some way. So I can't really be around that. A lot of women, they settle for like lives, for like mundane lives and shit. Me, I'm not like that. So but yeah, yeah, so a lot of women, and of course they're emotional, but like it gets bad because if they're emotional, if they can't control their emotions, or if they don't take accountability, if they project that shit, then it's like, who the fuck wants to be around that? I don't want to be around that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole clusterfuck. So why would I be around that? Also, a lot of people who have the shittiest attitudes, they're losers. A lot of people, they like to settle and they don't believe themselves. That's why people are the way they are. So this is why, like, with me is just like I tend to not be around most people because it is by choice, but it's because it's not out of like me, it's them, because I can sense them, I can sense what they're about. And it's like I don't want to be around that shit. So a lot of people, they got nothing going on in their lives but negativity and bullshit. A lot of people, they like emotional self-awareness, they like emotional intelligence. In the same way how they treat people, they will not like it if you were to treat them the same way. So it's like a lot of people deserve to get cussed out at. A lot of people deserve to like get their ass beat. So it's really hard. It's very challenging for me to really bite my tongue because it's like me. I have a Scorpio Mars and Scorpio rising and moon. So it's like I have a lot in Virgo Mercury. So it's like I could really easily cuss a motherfucker out and just harm them. I have done those a couple of times, but it's just like they deserve it. Usually when I retaliate towards people, they deserve it. They put themselves into that situation. A lot of people are miserable. It's like it's like no matter what state I go into, no matter where I travel, it's like a lot of people, they're still stuck on the same bullshit. And it's like, are people that low? Are people that lame? And that gave me a realization. So if people are like that, that means it's gonna be a lot easier for me to kind of go ahead in life because do the opposite of what people are doing. If people are miserable, if people are like settling, if people are like projecting their bullshit onto people, then for me, I need to do the opposite. Instead, I need to do things I enjoy doing. I need to not settle, and I need to like do the healing work and do the shadow work and treat people how I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you observe and learn from other people. A lot of people are miserable. A lot of people, it's weird though, because I feel like people, they create their own downfall. Some of it is out of their control, such as this evil ass society that God and the universe orchestrated for pedophiles and Masonic bloodlines to rule over this world. And spiritual warfare with demonic entities kind of come into play. So and time speeding up. So that's out of people's control with this fucking society and corrupt ass world. But I'm saying for the most part, like 50 to 60% people have control over their lives, the other 60 to 50%, I mean. And like, but they choose not to. And if they choose not to, that could be dangerous because misery loves company. So if they're like miserable because they're not willing to change themselves, whether physically, mentally, spiritually, etc., then they're gonna project that shit towards other people. Either because they got nothing going on in their lives or like they want people to feel how they feel. So there's levels to this shit. So that's why like it's easy for me to kind of like observe people and shit like that. But it sucks though, because sometimes unfortunately I am forced to work with these people, or I am forced to be around these people or interact with these people. Like if I'm going to the DMV, if I'm working at my fucking job, or just some bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but either you could cuss them out, get them the same energy, which could be fun, but you gotta watch out because you don't want to get yourself in trouble, especially if you're like the stronger spirit. If you're the more powerful spirit, if you have more influence and energy, you gotta be careful. But you can't use it in a way where you don't have to be in trouble. So you could do that, or you could just ignore them and just dust them off, and you know what I'm saying. So. But yeah, but that shit gets annoying though. So a lot of people, they're just fucking weird. A lot of people, they're just weird as shit. Me, I was subjected to that a lot, and I'm not dumb. A lot of people, they think that it happens by coincidence. No, I'm aware. I'm aware that God or the universe, it wanted me to experience those bullshit ass fucked up situations so I can learn how the human mind works in a way. So I can use that to my advantage. So one day, if I'm in a leadership role or position or have some type of influence, I know how to interact with the collective because I know what type of mindset they're in. So everything happens for a reason, even if it doesn't seem like it. Everything happens for a reason. Even though it can be frustrating, it is easier said than done. Everything happens for a reason, for the better. But it's weird. So a lot of people ain't shit, man. But it's like, damn, I understand karma is a real thing, but it's just like they get away with this shit for so long. So it's like, is karma a real thing? Or like, so who the fuck, who knows, man? So it is what it is though. But I'm gonna release some pent up anger, so I'm probably gonna get a workout in. This live helping me release my thoughts. That's helping me release a lot of pent up anger. Um, yeah. So, and I think we do have a full moon in Aries. So like, there's a lot of heightened emotions. Like, there's a lot of heightened emotions amplifying. So I've read a post to where like there's gonna be a lot more car crashes, a lot more like road rage and conflicts and arguments and shit like that. So I gotta really do a better job of calming down and shit. But at the same time, I'm trying to use that energy to my advantage to where I'm gonna have more stronger boundaries and defend myself a lot more if people are trying me and stuff. Because fuck it, why not? You know what I'm saying? So that's all I gotta say. A lot of people ain't shit. A lot of people are insecure and they like to manipulate and do shit to harm others just so they can get ahead. A lot of people are like that. And personally, I blame society. I blame this world. I blame the mishandling bloodlines and pedophiles. I blame God and the universe for allowing this shit to happen. The rules and regulations of this 3D realm and reality to allow some shit like this to happen. So it's all, there's levels to this. But that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace. How do I end this shit? Man. How the fuck do I end this? Well, apparently it has no fucking tools on